All right. So I'm going to be going over what today was a pretty tough day, but this is really valuable price action to be going over. How you can identify the consolidation. We identified it in the first 5 minutes, and how you can best start to trade defensively versus offensively and kind of shift your bias if you are going to continue to trade. So we started out the market session. I had my game plan was a breakout for calls to the upside at 26,805 or a breakout for puts to the downside. Only the only way I was going to go short was if we broke 26 the 644 to the 604 area. That was the only way. So because I was biased to the upside, I was biased for continuation, and I didn't want to get caught in trying to go short on the market. That was my initial game plan. So as the market starts to play out, we took the breakout for calls right away. It hit 20 points profit, 23 points. So some people who had an ATM function, they were able to make a profit, which means it's an automatic take profit. So some people automatically had it 20 points profit. It will sell their position. So that was a win for them. For me, it was not personally. That first trade for options, I only saw about 10%, 11% on the contracts. Wasn't enough to trim, came back, stopped me out. All right. Then we also had Tesla. So for those that don't know, we had a Tesla trade as well here for 61% profit that I took. So this is why I was green on the day today, but ended up taking the second attempt. So what I said was, I want to see if the price can come down and bounce 744. Hindsight, if I had taken that bounce, would I have had a great day? Oh, yeah, would have been an awesome day because this would have been a big win. But instead, it bounced 744, and I said, all right, price is confirming. Volume looks a little better. I'm going to take another entry here for calls. As you can see, stopped out again. Now, this is where it tests real traders. This is where you really get tested. Because from this perspective now, still green on the day. I did tell students as I took this trade, I said, I am going lighter on the second trade just because I'm trying to protect my green day, my profits from Tesla. I don't want to give it all up. If I had gone full size on the second trade, I would have been right on the day. So what I'm telling everybody is taking this trade, we start to watch volume play out. It starts to sell through, it starts to come back up. When it comes back up to the entry, I tell everybody, if you want to take an exit at break even, you're more than welcome to. I'm just going to let it do its thing. And then boom, came down and stopped us out again. Now, on this push to the downside, I called out a little bit of an early entry here for a breakout for puts just based on the volume. That was the only reason we called that out. As you can see, that was a nice 42 points profit. It did take a minute. It took about 10 minutes, but it was a nice 40 points profit. So this was as you see, I noted it right here. That was a 40 points. At this point, I told everybody I would just be going for a 2-to-1, 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio, 2-to-1 mainly, not really 3-to-1, based on the consolidation. It's best to just have a 20-point stop loss, a 40-point take profit. Don't mess with scaling out. Don't mess with trimming. Don't be going for 100 points, etc., because the market is more than likely going to range. When we have low volume, it tends to range between these levels. How would I identify low volume? Well, I'm just looking at the volume of the underlying candles. And this is specifically for QQQ. But personally, I like to see 1.5 million. Under 1.5 million on the tape on a volume footprint chart. That's what I like to see for underneath that is low volume, and over that's good volume. Anything over 2 million is great volume to me. So we closed under. That's how I confirmed it was going to be low volume. And that's why we started to deduce going for a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So all I was looking for was this trade right here. Mentioned if we can get a retest as well, that would be valid, a break and retest for the break of structure. So once this came up and stopped everybody out, for anyone that was still in it, but this was mainly a 40-point full exit trade, right? 40 points, take your profit, you're done. So you could basically recoup both of these losing trades immediately. So you would have lost 20 points, let's say $400, another 20 points, another $400, you're down $800. You would take this trade here, make $800, you would be break even on the day. Now, this is where you have to start asking yourself, am I going to start over trading, right? We don't want to overtrade. We don't want to be taking 5, 6, 7 trades in a day. Really, you're starting to walk a fine line at 3 to 4 trades. You're starting to walk a fine line. I do know successful traders that trade 4 times a day, but anything past that, you're talking about diminishing point of return. So that was technically the third trade there for QQQ. We never got our confirmation for longs. My confirmations for longs, what I wanted to see was a 5-minute candle close above 805 and then a retest, right? That's what I wanted to see. If someone had attempted this, I wouldn't blame them. It's the third breakout of the level. You're just giving a breakout a shot. It's not a bad trade. It just didn't work, all right? But never got the 5-minute candle close, so we never got the attempt for longs. And then price rejected 805 again. So this is where I told myself, hey, I'm just glad my levels are good. My levels are clearly spot on. Price came back up to the T and rejected 805. It couldn't have been better. So after we watch all this nonsense, because what's price doing here? It's ranging. Comes down, bounces, comes back up, rejects, bounces, comes back up, rejects. But what can I confirm? This is when I drew the squeeze. This is called a squeeze. So we're forming lower highs, right? We have a high, then we have a lower high, and then we have a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, right? And then on the lows, we formed a low, and then a higher low, and then a higher low, right? And it's squeezing. This is called a squeeze. So save you some money. You have people out there that try to charge, what is it, $6,500 for trendline courses. You know who you are, and you know who they are. It's a female, by the way. But A, don't pay $7,000 for a course ever. And then B, this is what they teach you, trend lines. You're just picking 2 points of the previous highs or the previous lows and drawing a trend line. Very simple. But we've identified a squeeze. So what did I tell everybody? I said, well, technically that we've identified the squeeze, we should see a break of this range soon. Now that we are squeezing, we should see some type of a break. What we have to look for, though, is to follow the trend. I don't want to fight the tidal wave. I want to follow the trend that's being painted today. So when I'm looking at this, I'm just telling myself, all right, I am really now going to use the 744 area for my short bias. At this point, I was short biased, and I was telling everybody, once we broke below here, right here, we broke below, and we ended up bouncing where we bounced previously. So I told everybody, all right, let's watch for a retest of 26,744. Why am I using that level? Mainly because I don't want to do a deep dive into volume because the volume was crap today, but mainly because we can see there's clearly some support here, right? There's clearly support in this range. So I could tell myself, cool, let me watch to see how we retest that now that we've broken below it. Broke below, we come back up. There's too much buying pressure here, though. So that's what I was telling everybody in real time. I was showing them, and this is on a volume footprint chart. So this is going to be NQ, so it's a little different. The numbers are really tiny. But I was just showing them, hey, there's too many buyers coming in here. You can see a positive delta. We had too many buyers coming in and none of sellers, so we skipped on it. What I told them at this point was, I still love the rejection. And I said verbatim, I said, if we can come back up and get a retest of 26,768, that would be perfect. I expect a rejection of 26,768 based on the previous rejection here earlier. That's what I'm basing that on. So just some technical analysis, very simple. I'm pretty sure everyone would have seen this today, but a rejection of 26,768. And I told everybody that would be the ideal rejection spot. If you're not wanting to take that rejection, if it rejects there and comes back down to 26,744 on that reclaim, that would be a valid entry criteria for shorts. So you can see both worked out beautifully. You have the rejection play. You have only been in drawdown about 6 points. It actually lined up perfectly with what? The cross of the squeeze. Really cool to see that play out as well. And then it started to sell off beautifully. So obviously, as you can see, if you had a 2-to-1 R or a 4-to-1 R, doesn't matter. You would have hit your PT. It would have been beautiful. And as you can see, this is a day where you could have ended heavily in the green. It just depends if you wanted to take that trade or not, okay? If you're the type of person that you had 2 losses and you called it, hey, you called it. It doesn't matter. You don't fret over this. You don't get upset about it. You decided at 2 losses, you were done for the day. That's totally okay, all right? And also you have to look at it from the perspective of, what if you took this and it was a loss? Would you have been super upset? Because if that's the case, you can't take those trades. If that is the case and you're like, no, I wouldn't be upset, I would just size accordingly, then you can take those trades. That does work. It fits your criteria. You just need to track them. Track them in TradeZilla. Just see, hey, on my third trade, so any time you take a third trade, create a tag, attach it to the trade, file it in the reports section at the end of the month, go check it out. How did your third trade tag perform? If you have a 100% win rate with a third trade tag, or you have an extremely high risk-to-reward ratio, yeah, it's probably worth taking. You probably are the type of person that could take 3 trades. If it's the opposite, then you know you shouldn't take those trades. Best way to learn is your own statistical data. Now, this was quite the sticky trade, and I mentioned to everybody I wouldn't blame them when they sold down here. That's what I was telling everybody. I said I wouldn't blame you if you scalped this here, if that would put you in the green. Obviously, if it wouldn't put you in the green, you're better off just holding. But once we bounce this and this candle closed green right here, I told everybody, at this point, I'd have my stops at entry. So at that point, even though price hadn't moved much whatsoever, right? We were not even 20 points in profit at that time. We had gone 20 points in profit, but we came back up because remember, we were going for 40 points profit. I said, you know what? I wouldn't blame you if you ended up scalping this, but no matter what, I would have that stop loss at entry. So at that point, stop loss got moved to entry, even though that 40-point TP was not achieved yet. And then it finally started to sell through and push down. That's when we got that nice follow through. So once we got this strong 5-minute candle close down here at 26,695. Again, this is just based on technical analysis. I drew out this beautiful order block here, and I just deduced this based on that previous candle, these two bounce areas right here. And I just said, all right, ideally, I would like to see price come up. And I said, I should see a rejection of 710 because people in my community were saying, do you have another retest spot? Do you have another entry? Now that they see the trade idea is really working, now they're interested, ironically. And not to bash them, that's just human nature. I see it play out every single day. But that's what I'm like. Ideally, what we'd like to see is a retest of this, and you can see would have slipped your stop by about 10 points, right? You would have only gone into drawdown about 10 points. So everybody could have stomached this, whether you have a 15 or a 20-point stop loss. And again, another beautiful textbook rejection based on respecting good technical analysis of the order block for this underlying asset. So as you can see now, a nice follow through, nice sell off. This ended up hitting a peak of 176 points profit. So really, really cool to see this play out. I was very, very happy with this. And ironically, guys, look what happened. Price came back up. What did it do? The same trend line from prior. Isn't that crazy? Came back up, rejected that trend line to the downside, ended up respecting my support area right here, and it ended up rejecting the order block. I mean, guys, these just good levels, good technical analysis goes such a long way. Because on a day like this where volume was trash, so it goes against my edge, it goes against my system. I don't trade very well if there's no volume. I mean, nobody really does, but I know I don't. When there's no volume, it's kind of like I'm driving in a fog. But even then, I have to revert back to true, just super, basic foundational trading, which is technical analysis, going on the higher time frames into the lower time frames, trying to analyze things, identifying a trend, waiting to take the entry of that trend, practicing that patience, right? Patience pays. So hopefully this was super valuable to you guys. As you can see, price really did respect my levels pretty well today. It was just a matter of surviving and waiting through the nonsense. This is one of those things that if you cannot stomach this, I'm telling you right now, I'm talking to you. If you cannot stomach this, you will not make it as a day trader. I'm telling you right now. You're going to have all these gurus online today. They're going to be saying, I knew it was going to consolidate and I decided to sit it out. They probably did, but that's also because they sit out every other day as well. Days where I'm 200 points profit in the first 15 minutes of market open, those guys are what? They're sitting on their hands with no trades, and they're the ones that go back in later on and go talk and say, there was no trades today. There was no trades today, just to stroke their ego, let them feel better about not trading properly. How do I know this is going to be if it's low volume, do I know if it's going to chop? Not necessarily. It's just a higher likelihood it's going to chop. There has been times where it's low volume and I'll still get 80, 90 points out of it. And that's a great trading day. If I get 90, 80 points, I'm taking that win and I'm taking it to the bank. I'm walking away. That's a great trading day. I will take it. So don't let somebody's restriction of trading or somebody else's opinion become your reality. You create your reality. You sit through the trenches, you go through the pain, you go through the trouble and the heartache to create your trading foundation, to create your success. You draw upon that of your own willpower, and you can find yourself in positions like this just as easily as I could sit here and take a loss and go, today sucks, I'm walking away. Be negative about it, go pout, walk away, come back to see this beautiful move play out and go, wow, that's great. That's great. Market's not going to hand things to you every single day. It's just not how it works. You got to be able to sit through things like this. You have to be able to read this price action. You have to be able to trade this price action. If you cannot adapt to the market will eat you up and spit you out. Okay, the market's not going to trend beautifully every single day. That's just not how it works. And we can't pick and choose when it's going to trend. You don't know. If you knew that, you'd be a fortune teller. You'd be a multi-billionaire, right? You just got to be realistic. There's going to be days where you're going to get, you got to roll with the punches. You got to roll in the mud a bit. But you can still come out smiling. You can still come out on top of trades like this. All right. It's all about keeping that positive attitude and focusing on the foundations. All right. So you got this. I believe in you. All right, guys. So that'll be it. 1% better. Boom. Every single day. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll try to do more of these trade reviews if you guys like them. Just let me know in the comments if you like this. If you liked it, I'll make more of these. Just 15 minutes right on the dot, quick. You can watch it on a car ride and help you grow your trading. All right. Stay blessed, everybody.